Hello and welcome to the world of Final Fantasy XIV. My name is Brian and this is Work to Game. I'm putting this guide together to hopefully teach you how to use one of these or one of these. Now whether your preference being the PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller, let's go ahead and get those set up. We've got 3 videos here to hopefully teach you everything you need to know to really get started using the controller. The first one being the setup and configuration guide, the second one being simple tips and tricks to how to use the controller, and the third one I'm calling targeting like a boss. You'll see the links to the other videos in the description below, but let us know in the comments what you think, as well as if you have any questions about the controllers and how to use them. You can also check out our controller guides by job, and let us know if you got any thoughts or there's anything that you want to see, and we'll try to do our best to help out with that. But without further ado, let's just do this thing. In this guide, we're going to be talking about controller tips and tricks. So system configuration, how to invert your X or Y axis, auto run, locking on targets, drawing and sheathing your weapons, as well as first and third person views, and then get into your hotbars, your expanded hotbar, and your W cross hotbar. Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions. We'll be happy to answer those as best we can, but let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, under your character configuration menu, you'll be able to actually really control how your hotbars and everything work. Under the General tab for your controller, you're going to find third-person and first-person camera for both keyboard and mouse and gamepad. If you're focusing in on just the gamepad in and of itself, you can reverse or essentially invert your X and Y axis as I have done so here. There are 2 modes in which that you can actually control it for your third-person camera and your first-person camera right here. You can also do the X axis if you wish. Obviously, this just gives you with the right stick the ability to tilt the controller, and if you switch to the first-person mode by pressing down on the right stick, you have that same level of control that you had in third-person mode. Again, this is completely up to you and your preference, so feel free to use that any which way that you want. Now, in the world of Final Fantasy XIV, you're going to be doing a lot of running, whether you like to or not, or whether you're mounted or not. Pressing the left bumper while running is going to set you up in auto-run mode, so now you don't have to move the left stick up or down in order to move. You can actually just then turn it left and right as needed. The same is true for the R1 button on the PlayStation controller. So I'd highly advise you don't just set your character up to run any which way in any which direction, because you might come back to find yourself needing to be resurrected. Pressing back on the controller left stick will stop auto run. It will cancel it out. But you can also just press it again and it will also cancel the auto run. Under System, Character Configuration, and Target under the controller settings, you can have it automatically lock on target whenever you start an auto attack. This is completely a preference, and I would recommend playing around with it to see what feels best. But if you want to manually lock on a target, you can press down on the left stick, and that will allow you to lock on, and this essentially runs circles around the target in question. Pressing down on the left stick when you are targeting somebody will have you disengage from that lock on target. I find that I want to use it manually. I don't want it to happen automatically, so this is just why I use it from a manual perspective. However, when you're not locked onto a target, pressing down on the left stick will have you draw your weapon or sheath your weapon. This is important because it can help control what actions and stuff show up on your hotbars themselves and what helps get filtered in and out. Here I am just cycling between 2 sets because my weapon is drawn, and if my weapon is away, I will cycle through all of my hotbar sets. And that is controlled under the character configuration settings as well. To get to it, start System Character Configuration, Hotbar Settings, and Custom. From here, you can enable how things are filtered. So right here, you can see that when my weapon is sheathed, I am not filtering any hotbars. But when my weapon is drawn, I only want to see 1 and 4. So this is how you enable it for when your weapon is sheathed and weapon is drawn, and that's why pressing down on the left stick can be so powerful. But now let's talk about hotbars. You can see here on my hotbar, I've got several actions that have this nice little red line through it. If you're new to Stormblood or have been playing Heavensward before it, this means that the action is no longer available in the game or has been placed with a cross-roll hotbar. Now, clicking and dragging is something that works, but that's not necessarily the most efficient. On your hotbar, you actually have the ability to hold and edit the hotbar at any time. So if I press the select button or press down on the touchpad as a button in and of itself, I go into edit hotbar mode. Pressing the same button twice, so in this case for the former Swiftcast, I can say delete from hotbar. Now if I want to rearrange, I don't have to press twice, I can just press once and then I can say, alright, I want this to go to the Y button and press it, and you can see that those actions are easily moved. Again, pressing twice will have me prompt that I need to delete it. This allows me to easily manage and manipulate the hotbar icons that I have on my hotbar. The same can be true for your actions and traits. Within the actions and traits menu, you're going to see that you've got various actions. Pressing your menu button, in this case the default would be X, but because again I remap mine, it's going to be Y, I can then edit to place it on the hotbar itself. If you're ever having trouble trying to set something to a hotbar or move it once it's been assigned, again you can hold down, press the select button, and then edit any of your abilities. Now you have to have an ability in the spot to edit it, otherwise it's not going to do anything, so there's just that one caveat. So with your hotbars, you have 8 hotbars that you are set up. Holding down the R1 button, or right bumper, you can press any of the corresponding buttons up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start, to navigate to those. Holding left trigger or right trigger activates the hotbar, and this is how you use an ability. So if I hold down the right trigger and press on the D-pad, I activate the ability that corresponds to that position. Same thing is true for the left side. If I hold both triggers down, I enable my expanded hotbars, and then it depends on the order in which that I press them. So holding down left and then right trigger is one hotbar, and holding down left trigger and then right trigger is the other. And you can see the set name for what it's actually pointed to. These aren't additional hotbars per se, they are in fact actually hotbars that have already been configured, and those are just shortcuts to be able to get to them from the main. The system also includes the W cross hotbar feature, or the double cross hotbar feature. Double tapping right brings up that menu, and double tapping left brings up the other menu. Let me go ahead and show you how to enable these options by default. So pressing start, going into character configuration, and into hotbar settings, you can see under the display you have the ability to turn on and off various hotbars. Going into sharing allows you to say what hotbars are shared across all your jobs and what hotbars are specific to the job that you are on. Under the cross menu allows you to enable many features. Namely, if you want to enable help, this will display various tooltips as you're using it. So you can see that now the action names show up with that help enabled. You can set your mode. The expanded and double cross hotbars require the hold mode, but you can use toggle and or mixed. I'd recommend trying out all three and just seeing what best works for your playstyle. Here you can enable the W cross hotbar as well as set various settings for it. Return to cross hotbar input means that if you use an ability, like this potion, it will automatically refocus you to the hotbar that you are holding down, in this case the left trigger. Under custom, you can say enable expanded controls with left trigger and right trigger, and this is how you get to those menus, as well as what hotbars they actually pull up. So LT and then RT pull up hot 2, which is a job specific hotbar, and then RT and then LT pull up hotbar 7, which is shared. And that's where you can see that I put my mounts, my limit break, all those options, because they are always going to be needed on all jobs as opposed to something that is just specific for the job that I'm on. Same controls go for the W cross hotbar. Enable hotbar, in this case 3 left and 3 right. Again, these are job specific and not shared across all jobs. With your cross hotbars and W cross hotbars and extended cross hotbars configured, let's talk just briefly about targeting. We're going to talk about targeting in a dedicated video just to it, but I just want to point out a few quick tips. Pressing A at any time, or the X button at any time, will auto-target your nearest NPC. So if there is a crowd of people just gathered around and you're having trouble using left and right to target, just press A. It's going to go to whoever your nearest target is. This can be difficult sometimes if there's a lot of NPCs kind of grouped together, but again, getting closer to the target will help alleviate that, so that way you do not have to target with left and right. So the same rule applies to enemies. Whenever there are a lot of enemies around, pressing A should help auto-default you pretty much to the closest target. Using the left and right will help you filter and cycle through your enemy targets. Again, we're going to cover this in depth in the next video, but I just wanted to point that out for you now. Anyway, this has been Brian for Work to Game. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my next. We've got a lot of things to cover with Stormblood, so please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I'll try to answer those questions either in the comments or in another video if needed. Thanks again, and hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.
Hey, it's me. I'm in Chris's office. He doesn't know it, but we've got other videos for you to check out right here. And we've got the vlog down there in the corner. Plus, we've got some contact information, and you can totally subscribe to the channel that way as well. So we hope you do. We hope to see you in our next video. But until then, take care.